Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another Historic Brawl gameplay video. And earlier I was watching a video by Commander's Quarters about like unknown or unappreciated commanders from, I don't know if it's from 2024 specifically or just generally. And a lot of those commanders are from specific commander sets which we don't really get on Arena. But one of them was Melek, Reforged Researcher. And I had to agree with him, I'd never heard of Melek. Which is weird seeing as is a relatively recent card. It's from Murders at Card of Mana, which was the set prior to Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which is when I started the channel. But I don't think I've ever seen it mentioned. I don't think I've ever played against it or seen anyone, any streamer I've watched play it. And I'm kind of confused why, because it's a very powerful card. So who is Melek? Melek is a 3 mana Izzet commander. It has Star, and its power and toughness are each equal to twice the number of instant sorcery cards in your graveyard. We see that effect, especially for power, quite often, you know, on something like Haughty Djinn, which we do have in the deck. But this is twice, so if you have 5 instant sorceries in your graveyard, this is a 10/10. And then it has the first instant sorcery spell we cast each turn, costs 3 less to cast. So it's a bit like Eluge. We've played Eluge on the channel. I'll put a card up to that video, which decreases the cost of spells. Elude decreases the cost of coloured mana first, so can be free, whereas obviously this, like most cost reductions, only reduces the generic mana. So the name of the game is to get as many instant sorceries into a graveyard we can, cast some big ones with that cost reduction, and then get in, because Melek is going to be big. I've seen him be a 24, I think, just from having 12 cards. So, you know, let's quickly go through the deck. So first up we have Ramp, pretty standard stuff, Arcane Signet, Coastal Heart, Celestus as our mana rocks, and then Brawl, Goblin Electromancer and Haughty Djinn all reduce the cost of that instant sorceries, and Brawl lets us discard and draw, or sorry, draw and discard when we counter a spell. Next up we have some of our win cons. So by having Melek be absolutely huge, he doesn't have any evasion. And what you could do, there are plenty of enchantments that you know, give enchanted creature fly and things like that. You could go that way, but they don't count as instant sorceries, obviously, so they wouldn't buff Melek in the graveyard. So we have gone the fling route. So things like Fud, Fling, Kazul's Fury, and Pyrrhic Blast let you sacrifice a creature, deal damage equal to that creature's power to any target. In a case of Pyrrhic Blast, draw a card. Gravitic Punch is the real winner here. It's a 4 mana, and it just says target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target player. So we go face straight away without having to sacrifice Melek. But it also has Jumpstart, meaning you can cast from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. Then you exile a card. So it's kind of like pseudo flashback. So with Melek's cost reduction, if as long as you have 5 mana and 2 are red, you can cast Gravitic Punch, punch your opponent's face with Melek, and then jumpstart it from your graveyard straight away, and you know, probably get lethal. Do have to be aware though, how I think it works is when you jumpstart Gravitic Punch, it will leave your graveyard, so Melek's power will go down by 2 basically. And last up we have Waltz of Rage. Doesn't go face, but basically acts as a board wipe. Target creature we control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. So again, this can be hitting our opponent's board for 10, 12, 14. That is not out of the realms of possibility. Next up, we have counter spells. We're in a blue deck. Of course, we have counter spells. The usual things: Pact of Negation, Swan Song, 3 Steps Ahead, Wash Away, obviously, Jawari Disruption, Negate, counter spell, Mana Drain, the best card on Arena, as some other streamers will say. You find the Vision Lair and Rewind, and if we play obviously Rewind in our opponent's turn and it gets that cost reduction, we're essentially gaining mana then because it costs us 2, and then we untap 4 lands. And next up we just have our kind of like card draw, card selection. So I'm not going to go through them all, but a lot of these let you draw a card or look at the top certain amount of cards in your library and put a card in hand. Special mention goes to Defera's Asia's Insight. It doesn't actually do that, but it says if you draw a card except the first one you draw in each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. So this is great, obviously. So if we cast an alt with it down, we draw 2 cards. What is really interesting, I think, there are sometimes you'll see similar cards like this, but it will say except for the first card you draw each turn, meaning that if you opt on your opponent's turn, you wouldn't get an extra card. This is except for the one you draw in your draw step. So if we draw cards on our opponent's turn, we get draw 2, and that's absolutely fantastic. We also have basically the whole suite of the discard a card, draw 2, and create a certain number of treasure tokens as well. Next up we have removal, a lot of bounce things, Fading Hope, Stern Dismissal, Summon, Unsummon, Lightning Bolt, Spiteful Hazard, and then some Cyclonic Rift, River's Rebuke, Ill-Time Explosion as a sweeper, Brother's Ed as a sweeper to go along with our Walks of Rage. And next up we have just kind of other spells that don't really fit anywhere. Otherworldly Gaze doesn't actually draw you a card, but it does obviously put a instant sorcery into our graveyard. Crash Through gives a creature critical trample, giving Melek trample with a huge amount, with a huge body, be really powerful, and it lets you draw a card as well. To Inferno can give Melek double strike, or it can double up a spell. Just be wary, obviously you don't choose Melek's cost reduction, so if we cast to Inferno, it'll, with Melek out, it will cost 1 red, and then if we want to cast a more expensive spell, that 3 mana cost reduction might be wasted, which is why we're not playing Galvanic Iteration, which is also a doubling spell. Izzet Charm and Bismari Charm have loads of different modes. Time Warp, take an extra turn. Song Mag Treachery can let us get a blocker out of the way, and put it on our side. Boon of a Wishgiver, casting this for 3 and drawing 4 cards with Melek's cost reduction is really powerful, and we can cycle it for 1 if we need be. Time Stop is I don't know if it's new in Foundations, but it's new on Arena in Foundations. Again, it acts as a pseudo extra turn spell, and because it's an instant, we can cast it in our opponent's turn for 3 with Melek out, put a stop on their upkeep, cast it before they get a chance to draw, or wait for them to play their big spell and cast it as a pseudo counter spell, and then ends the turn. And Seagate Restoration just draws loads of cards. And then we have 1 Planeswalker, Row, Crackling Whip. Because we just have so many non-creature spells, we can get this up. We can increase his loyalty pretty quickly. So there is another card that I didn't know existed until I literally just cracked a pack with it in, which I would have put in, but I've recorded all the videos, and that's Burning Anger. It is 5 mana. It is in Pioneer Masters, but enchanting creature gets tapped. This creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. So putting that on Melek and just being able to basically smash our opponent, ping our opponent's face for 20 would be really, really powerful. I said I had recorded all the videos before I knew it existed, so if I redid the deck, I would have it in there, and I recommend put it in and maybe take out one of the fling effects, because it has the same kind of effect, but obviously it is repeatable. Mana base, as you would expect, a lot of dual lands, a lot of fetch lands. Yeah, it is a 2-colour deck, so we just have obviously all the dual lands we can. How powerful is it? Well, I played 10 games and won 9, and the one I lost was my fault. You'll see it in the videos. I was a bit too greedy with I think it was a Pyrrhic Blast. Our opponent cast a Pharaoh's Protection. If I'd waited an extra turn and had mana up for Pyrrhic Blast and a counter spell, I think we would have won that, but in the end we didn't. But that's the only game I lost, and none of the other ones were particularly close. It is one of those commanders you want to play when you can get value out of it, and by meaning you want to play it where you can protect it with a counter spell. Obviously reduced cost is really good, so you may not play it on curve, you may play it the turn afterwards, so that you can get that the cost reduction. But against things like red or green, they're damage based removal or fight based removal, so you can probably play Melek out whenever you want, because it's going to be pretty big. But word to the wise, if you don't have any instant sorceries in your graveyard when you play Melek will be a 0/0 and die, so make sure you've cast some spells first. So this actually really, really enjoyed this deck. I'm surprised I've never seen it I've never played against it, I've never seen anyone play it or anyone play against it, and I'm really surprised by that. It is I think a very, very powerful commander, and a bit different. It's a spell slinger commander, but also an aggro commander. You win by throwing your commander at your opponent's face, either through attacking or through a fling spell. So it is quite unique in that, even though it is a bit similar to Eluge, but Eluge is in mono blue. So I had a really, really great time playing this deck. Hope you all enjoy watching it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. Well, against Roxanne, hopefully our commander can get big enough to withstand Roxanne's. Opponent does go first. Depending on what they play, we might be able to Spiteful Hazard away a Mana Dork. opponent is taking their time. Wow. I still think they may play a Mana Dork. I don't know, just an Arcane Signet then. We'll take a Secret Restoration. Let's play out the Reliquary Tower and then the Celestus. I think we can just brainstorm. We'll draw a Shatter Skull. So I believe we can kill. Yeah. Melek will be up to a 6/6. Half to red-green to deal with.
Let's kick this madness into high gear. We won't answer to other guilds.
We're gonna shock this in. Let's win division now. No, let's wait on their turn, just in case we do want a swan song. I think next turn we might be Cyclonic Rifting. I know, we probably won't do it now. They probably are going to fight Melek, I imagine.
There'll be nothing but dust when I'm done.
And yeah, our opponent scoops it up. They're faced with an 8/8 that is just going to get bigger. This turn, we can just Saloon Division, find something else, hold up Rewind when they replay Old Gnawbone, try and attack down. Well, we could Spikefield Hazard. We Saloon Division, see what we find. Spikefield Hazard, Land of White Elves, attack down Domri, then keep up Rewind to counter Old Gnawbone or Roxanne if they replay her. We do go first. We can't turn one consider, which is annoying. Maybe they play something we can Spikefield Hazard. They do not. Sure, I'll keep that. I don't know if we're going to have many non-creature spells, so we'll 3 steps ahead hand, negate library, exile the island. Well, now we can keep up Spikefield rewind. Okay, wasn't expecting that. We can draw a couple with 3 steps ahead. We can't counter anything though. Hopefully they don't have any more removal. Because I'd quite like to Waltz of Rage. They don't have any black mana now. Well, let's just Waltz of Rage. Wipe their board. And yeah, our opponent scoops it up. Wiping their board. We've only got 2 cards in hand. Yeah, only had 1 black mana. So they may have had removal, but obviously they couldn't cast it with only 1 black mana that turn. And then we just hold up all our counter spells, which are obviously going to have a cost reduction for our first one. And yeah, just go on from there. Up against Simone and Dina. Opponent does go first. I think we Song Mad Treachery turn 1. Since we can't Faithless Looting. And now we will Coastal Heart on. Doesn't really matter, but I think blue. There is Zamone and Dina. I think we just hold up either a counterspell or Saloon Division. I'll take Walks of Rage with Melek, and that can be very powerful. Only a 2/2 though, so I think I'm going to hold off. We can thread a possibility. Probably not the most exciting thing to cancel, but it does ramp them. Well, let's compulsive research. No basic land to discard. Oh no, it's just a land card. Let's discard the Arid Mesa. Obviously, they are in black, so they may just have removal for Melek. But they don't seem to. Let's get a island. Well, let's Waltz of Rage first. No, that's the one I wanted to do. And I need to keep up 2 islands for a counter spell. And yet, our opponent scoops it up again. Well, opponent goes first. Can we keep this? Well, we have some bounce and counters for non-creatures. Oh, I think so. Would like more blue mana. Yeah, let's shop it in. Let's just bounce that. Use our mana. Oh, are they on the advisor deck? Let us Celestus. Well, we'll put this on the detective. And I'm not going to cast it yet. Well, they cost the same with Melek in play, and Pyrrhic Blast does draw a card. Obviously uncounterable. We'll bounce our own Melek. Let's go to Collective Defiance. I would like another blue source. That way I can play Melek and hold up You Find the Villain's Lair or Rewind. Well, that is unfortunately not but at least we can Pyrrhic Blast if we need to. Or if not, we can just opt. It's a land. See if we can find another land. I reckon we can 2 blue. We need a red, so I need another untapped blue, basically, which is fine. And then we can kind of wait for them to do something on their turn. Before we Pyrrhic Blast. Oh, that puts us just out of the way of it. That puts us back into range. If they were counter spell, that would be very unfortunate. Not a counter spell, but maybe I should have waited until I could have kept up rewind. Yeah, I think that was a punt from us. We're both at 9. What do they find? Oh, Rithik Sadi. Well, they are tapped out. That is not really what I wanted to find.
Like light, get cracked. Otter to otter, I need some help.
Yeah, messing up that fling. If I just waited a turn, I think we would have been fine.
I am confident this will work.
Well, that's us dead then. We do go first. We can do some faithless looting, turn 1. Don't need both of these. So I don't need either of them at the moment. And Melek's already a 6-6. We can get Savowland. Don't think we need that for now. We're quite find a counter spell. Well, it's not quite a counter spell, but I think I'll take Draw Disruption. I can't imagine my Melek is going to survive once I play it. Well, I would have liked an untapped land. Well, let's play it out, see what happens. If it does survive a turn cycle, we can time stop on their turn. Yeah, I'll take 8. Well, let us boon. Fair enough. I won't pay. We will swing in for 10. I'm going to do that now, otherwise Fade and Hope would get the cost reduction. And we hope they don't have a counter spell. So it looks like they might. Or they go digging for one. And yeah, opponent sees the writing on the wall. We first discovery, and then we compulsive research, and then we can swing in for 16. Up against an Elves deck. I have played Lathril. It's pretty powerful. We can kill Lathril with Cathartic Pyre. I'll play an island just in case we draw another island next turn and we can counterspell. I'm just going to do this. Discard a card. Gazul's Fury. And now we can hold up counterspell. Well, I think we can just hold up big score. Let us discard the Cathartic Pyre. And I'm just going to hold up negate. Oh, let's Arcane Signet. Strategic planning. Let us chart a course. This quiz got Death Touch. And then we draw two. And next turn, hopefully we can overload Cyclonic Rift. Now, let's do some maths. I don't think we can get there this turn. We can get it down to 1. That's the problem. If it was a 1 toughness, I would definitely have waited to use Spikeful Hazard. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Boom! Minus 25. Double death.